how's everybody doing after lunch? All right, glad to be here. My name is Atul Kumar. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Mintigo. I joined Mintigo about 3 years ago, and the single reason to join them was they were the best in data and AI, and my purpose was to come in and help build the company and help build the product that helps all of you. So I want to introduce my fabulous co-presenter, Tiffany Giddens, who is Director of Field Marketing at CA. Tiffany?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Like Atul said, I'm the Director of Global Field and Partner Marketing at CA, so I will be following his presentation here in a few minutes, and y'all bear with me. I'm from a small town in Texas, so this is more space than I normally see like in a week and more people than I see in a week, so have mercy on me.
All right, let's get started, guys. I was told this thing is a little bit slow, so does anybody remember this was year 2011? What was this? Watson, yes. So there are two champions, Ken and Brad, and they actually agreed to compete with IBM Watson. And this happened in 2011. And what's remarkable about this, and while doing research for this presentation, I learned a few things about this game. So it's not about memorizing 200 million pages of knowledge, that is what Watson did, but it turned out to be that the way you win this game is how fast you can click the buzzer. Okay, so if you notice, they had a bionic finger built for this, and that was the difference between the humans and the machines, that how it built. So that was 2011, and part of the hard part of this game is really understanding human clues. So what is AI about it is really what they call natural language processing, and understand what humans are saying and respond to that. Now let's go ahead like 5 years. You heard about computers playing chess and beating chess grandmaster. The hardest board game ever done is the game of Go. Has anybody tried playing this? It's beyond my IQ, guys. Apparently, there are 30 million possible moves in the game, and it's the bigger the board, the harder it gets. So there's a company called AlphaGo, which is Google AI branch based in UK. They actually got to this problem of Go, which scientists thought going to take 10 years to solve this problem and beat a human. But they did it in a couple of years, last year. And the remarkable thing about this is about learning from matches that happen, about 160,000 matches that happen in the prior, and learning from 30 million moves. And then each and every move is predicted. So when computer plays this, they are predicting the moves, what they should do. And they're looking at the propensity, whether this move would fail or succeed. And they had a mechanism built in to say, OK, we're going to lose, we give up. So there's a probability of losing the entire game. So they're calculating all that in real time and figuring out. So it's a remarkable achievement for AI and the advances that it made last year. How many of you use this? Alexa. OK, good. So you may not think Alexa is AI, but it is really, truly using AI behind this to understand your voice and then carrying out your commands and doing whatever you want it to do. And if you come from the part of the world I come from, you see these ugly things roaming around on the street, and these are self-driving cars. And they are making, all these devices are making decisions in real time. And they are learning from their environment, and this is what AI is about. So my favorite example of AI is TacoBot. Have you guys heard about TacoBot? OK. So this is a newest way to actually buy stuff. And the remarkable thing, again, about this is TacoBot actually can communicate with you and understand what you're saying. So it introduces another subject of AI called natural language generation, because you want to be communicated in the language that you understand, not a robotic language. So no matter which way you look at it, we are using, you and I and everybody else is a user of AI. So question is, why am I telling you all this? Why should you care as the sales and marketers in the crowd? Is really this reason here. The research that conducted by Forrester says The companies that embrace predictive and AI are 3x more likely to generate more revenue than the companies that don't, okay? So in our humble opinion, this is really your way to hack the growth of your pipeline in your B2B or B2C environments. So a little bit of a history of AI for business application, for marketing and sales. We started applying AI to actually middle of the funnel for demand generation and managing the demand. And soon we expanded that application to the sales side of the equation and the customer marketing side of the equation, as well as top of the funnel for digital marketing. So if I just focus here today on the sales side of it, I'm sure that you don't feel like this every day when you come to the office and you have a number to meet, and you start thinking, okay, which accounts should I talk? Who should I be talking to? What should I be focused on? What products or services should I be selling to this customer? Why would they buy this from me? And the most importantly, are they ready to buy this from me? Is the aspect of timing. And finally is, how should I approach this? So our product and the services that we build and what CA uses, and Tiffany is going to talk about it, is really helping salespeople to answer these 5 questions on every account, every lead, every contact you have every day. With that, Tiffany?
Yeah. Thanks, Atul. And those were the exact questions we were trying to answer at CA. So a little bit about myself. I actually started at CA about 7 years ago as a digital sales rep. So I have a little bit of street cred when it comes to working with my sales team. And what we noticed is that we had a lot of reps that were looking in the wrong place, at the wrong time, with the wrong solution. And we really tried to find a way to kind of pinpoint and find one overall solution. So a little bit about CA. If you can believe it or not, we're actually a 41-year-old software company. It's kind of hard to believe, but we build software that allows our businesses to compete. So whether it's helping our mainframe customers, helping customers build their apps faster, maximizing their apps, all the way over to securing their business, we really kind of cover quite a bit of real estate in the software industry. And with that, we actually have an awful lot of products to kind of cover. So if you can imagine, we have roughly about 250 to 275 digital sales reps, and that's a little snippet of our product list. We take roughly about 30 days to ramp up one digital sales rep just in one business unit. And we have thousands of products across 9 different business units. So just getting a rep familiar and able to make a conscious telephone call and be very comfortable on the phones is quite a daunting task. So we obviously needed quite a bit of help. So over the past few years, we've grown our digital sales team up to the 250 to 275 range from about 20 to 30. So quite a growth spurt in our commercial market. And what we noticed as we were growing the team is that there was quite a bit of time spent off the phones doing research. So anywhere up to spending 30 minutes before making one phone call. This was really frustrating to management because the activity level wasn't there, the pipeline wasn't there, obviously. It was frustrating to us in marketing because we were scared our leads were not getting followed up with in a timely manner. And it was frustrating for the reps because they would spend all this time researching and then probably get a voicemail at the end of the day. So we needed to help the reps. We needed to find one place to really store all the different information that we were looking for. So when we kind of peeled back the layers of what we needed, we looked at basically 3 different issues that we were having. One, we have a lot of products, we have a lot of accounts. We needed help telling us which products to target when with what accounts. So we've looked at you can easily take the wrong path when you're looking at targeting certain accounts and easily end up in a dead-end situation. So that was one issue we're trying to solve. And really being able to say, we're targeting these accounts, tell us which of our thousands of products really have the highest intent to buy these products. So then at the same time, we were looking to see what signals do we use. So we at CA use Marketo, so we have interesting moments. So if they engage with us, we can see that. We can see the history of leads and if sales has called them, anything along those lines. But we feel like this is where AI gets really powerful for us. We can actually see now what tech stack they have, what competitors they use, the growth that they're experiencing. That's information that we never had before. We only had internal indicators. So this was really important to have available for our reps because this was a lot of the research that they were doing on their own. They were Googling, going to LinkedIn, just putting up Google alerts, all kinds of different things in that 30 minutes that it took to research one account and one person. So then at the same time, what if that person actually answers the phone? What are they going to say? So we all know how it feels. You're making dials, and then finally someone answers the phone, and it feels like, oh, what do I say? So kind of like getting stopped by a cop. Not that I would know that, but kind of like getting stopped by a cop. Your heart drops a little bit and goes, what was I focused on again? So we needed one place to really store all of this information. With a 41-year-old software company, with thousands of products to cover, you can imagine that we have content just all over the place. We have it stored in SharePoints, emails, just all over the place. And we needed one centralized spot to really focus on that. So with that being said, those were kind of like the three big issues that we were trying to solve with this very young digital sales team. And bottom line is they just needed guidance. We needed to find a way to really help them. So in a relationship with Mintigo and artificial intelligence, now we actually have sales coach that sits directly on our Salesforce.com on every lead, every contact, every page that we have, so we can actually see when to call, what to talk about, who to call, and why we should be calling them. So this sits, like I said, on every lead. All the information and all the issues that we were having that I just went over, it's all solved and it's all right there on their page. So what we're actually able to see is our activity levels increase, our pipeline starting to increase, and now instead of the frustrating parts on that, we're actually moving in the right direction. And we're not stopping there. So this wasn't just an issue in North America. It was an issue across all 4 of our regions. So we rolled this out in 4 different regions in about 4 months. So we have 3 locations in North America, and then we went to Prague, to Bogota, Colombia, and as well as Singapore. So that 250 plus digital sales reps, they're actually a global sales team. So we have this rolled out and live in every single region where we have digital sales coverage. And like I said, we're not just stopping there. So the big thing with Sales Coach is that we built a feedback loop. We want to make sure that they are covered and moving forward, that we keep evolving with what their needs are. So we're constantly in contact with our digital sales reps, ensuring that we know what's working, what's not working, if we need to make any adjustments, anything like that, as well as we're about to go live actually with our inbound lead scoring. So it's not just going to be an engagement model, but we're actually going to be using intelligence to really see our highest potential leads coming first. We're also using this for our marketing campaigns. So as we have digital sales focused and targeted on the right accounts, we obviously want marketing to target on those same accounts to kind of, bridge the gap, if you will. So we're using the same data that we use for digital sales and send to digital sales, and we're actually sending that to marketing as well to ensure that we're targeting the right accounts. And then finally, we're using this in some of our larger accounts with account-based marketing. So it's just to tailor the message right, to ensure that we're really focused on the right accounts and the right products for those accounts. So with that, I think we still have some time for some Q&A if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
So guys, thank you very much for your attention today. So we're open for Q&A now.
And there's 2 mics at the back if you have any questions.
Do you want to grab a mic?
It's right there.
Thank you. Thanks. A very eye-opening presentation. Thank you for that. Just a quick question. When you initially started to implement this process, you need to give some data, some knowledge, some decision-making ability to the system itself. Tell me a little bit more about how you picked the key performance indicators, which variables you were measuring, and how do you know you were measuring the right variables or indicators? Thanks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks for asking a question. Good question. So it's about learning from, you start with the business goals first. So in CSK's, they wanted to do a couple of things, which is I think everybody wants to do, is increase the velocity of the pipeline, create a better list for the outbound campaigns, and in the end, increase the revenue, basically. It's closed in one. So we build predictive models, learning from their data, and bring our data and build the models to actually optimize for closed in one, or basically which leads or which accounts are most likely to buy from you. So the training aspect, just like the game of the board or whatever you do in predictive, is really take the basic data from CA, but you have to start with the business goal to what question you want to answer, optimize the model for that. We have a fully automated machine, basically, and we power that with about 50 million organization and about 4,000 attributes. So this is our own data, and then we have the whole AI layer on the top of that, which learns from the first-party data and our own data, and to make predictions that which account is most likely to buy from you, when it's likely to buy from you, and then we bring in the content and surface the content in the context of the account or the lead, and what's relevant to that account, that why would they buy from you.
Thanks. One follow-up. So when you start the system, there will be some result output, and the output won't be 100% accurate because we're making some assumptions. So you take I understand you take the input from the users and improve your system. How do you measure the accuracy of your system, and how do you improve it?
Yeah, so that's simple. So when the models are built, we do a blind test. So typically the model is built and the training set is used, and then you take the set of the training data that you didn't touch at all, or take a blind file completely, and you validate the model even before you implement it. So you want to make sure if model is predicting 20/80, like 20% of your accounts are going to result into 80% of your pipeline, or closed at one, we want to make sure those predictions are accurate. So you test it up front. So that's the step number one. Most of the enterprise businesses don't change overnight. So the models, a good test of a model is how accurate it is over a period of time. So we continuously learn from the results as they're coming in based on the sales cycle, and continue to make sure that the models are not drifting for some reason. Usually the good models are very stable in terms of what we are predicting. And good practice is every quarter we refresh the models to make sure everything is good.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for your questions. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, we're giving back 6 minutes. So I want to thank Tiffany for coming out and being our partner and customer.
Thank you.
Stop by our booth, and thank you for your attention.